This is the richest royal family in the world, 85-year-old King Salman and his son Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Together this father and son team rules Saudi Arabia, and with an estimated net worth of over $1.4 trillion, the Saudi royal family is about 16 times richer than this royal family. How did they get so rich? Well, in Saudi Arabia, the monarchy control all state-owned enterprises, which when you're sitting on one of the largest oil reserves on planet Earth equates to a lot of money. Their oil company, Aramco, for example, provides the world 12 million barrels a day, which makes them billions of dollars a year, money that goes straight into their pockets. Now, although they rule one of the world's most socially conservative countries, these two have a habit of spending their money on over-the-top luxury. Take for example the son Mohammed bin Salman, or MBS, as he likes to be called. He's personally worth $18 billion. Now MBS is known as the party prince, and boy does he like to party. Let me take you back to July 2015 to Vela, a super luxurious private island in the Maldives, just to give you an idea of what this place is like. A night spent in one of this resort's lavish villas will cost you about $1,600. Now if you want to rent the whole island, complete with 300 staff, well, that will be a cool $1 million a night. So what did party prince MBS do? Well, he flew out his closest buddies from Saudi Arabia and proceeded to book the island for 1 month at a cost of $50 million. His plan? To throw the most expensive private party ever held not just on the island, but anywhere in the world. And just in case you're thinking all of these Saudi males on an island all together for a month, that kind of sounds like a sausage fest. Let me stop you right there. To keep him and his friends company, he also jetted in over 150 models from Brazil and Russia, apparently making sure that each model was tested for sexually transmitted diseases before they were allowed on shore. Providing entertainment every night were superstar artists like Pitbull, Jennifer Lopez, Shakira and Afrojack. And of course, with all that partying came lots of booze, despite the fact that in the prince's own country, you can be fined, imprisoned, or even publicly flogged for drinking alcohol. This allegedly didn't stop MBS and his buddies from drinking themselves, and while attempts were made to try and keep his alcohol drinking secret, with guests reportedly banned from using camera phones on the island, when the news feed eventually leaked that he was drinking well, as quickly as he came, Mohammed and his friends packed up and left the island, but unhappy. His month-long party had been cut short. He wasn't ready to go home just yet. His next stop? The south of France. Where did he stay? Maybe an old French chateau? A fancy hotel perhaps? Oh no. MBS purchased a $300 million mega mansion. This is no ordinary home. It's a high-tech getaway full of surprises. One of the standout features, and there's many, but aside from the 3,000-bottle wine cellar, there's also a breathtaking aquarium meditation room stocked with all sorts of exotic fish, including numerous sharks. But remarkably, his spending didn't stop with the mansion, because while he was in the south of France, he saw something else that caught his eye, a 134-meter super yacht known as the Serene. Now, even in the world of super yachts, the Serene is something special. It's reserved for not just any old billionaire, it's for those at the very top of the rich list. Honestly, this yacht has more luxury built into it than most 5-star hotels. The summer before, for example, Bill and Melinda Gates reportedly rented out the Serene for a cool $5 million a week. MBS, on his mega spending spree, decided that he wanted the boat all for himself, so he purchased it for around $458 million, and just to ramp up the onboard luxury even more, because the standard fully stocked bars or giant jacuzzis, the spas and the helipads aren't really enough for a Saudi billionaire prince. Well, MBS reportedly chose the Serene as the perfect place for which to hang up his $450 million painting known as the Salvator Mundi, which just so happens to be the most expensive artwork ever sold. But get this, like its owner, this artwork is also pretty controversial. Because although the Crown Prince believes that this painting was created by Leonardo da Vinci, experts aren't so sure. Some actually believe it's fake and not painted by da Vinci at all. Either way, with the Salvator Mundi on board, that makes this super yacht worth almost $1 billion. Crazy, right? But what if I were to tell you that MBS isn't even the biggest spender in his own family? Nope, that title belongs to his. Bad. It turns out that his 85-year-old father, King Salman, can totally outdo his son when it comes to lavish vacations. Now his son may have rented an island for $50 million, but in the summer of 2017, the king would spend double that $100 million on his vacation to Morocco. What was all this money spent on? Well, 800 reservations, 200 luxury car rentals, and an army of cooks, cleaners and security staff. In fact, that one trip equated to about 1.5% of Morocco's total foreign tourism revenue for the entire year. And while King Salman has been coming to Morocco for many years, his 2017 trip is one that will be remembered for a very long time. The convoy of 100 black Range Rovers and 100 Mercedes caused quite the spectacle. In fact, hundreds of locals took to the streets to welcome both him and his free-flowing cash. The 1,600 Saudi guests that he brought with him, which included ministers, advisors and relatives, took up about 14% of all available hotel rooms in Tangier, the city where they were staying. Where did the king himself stay? Well, no need for a hotel room for him because he has his own 74-acre palace. This lavish compound features several different buildings, including a fully equipped medical center, 3 helipads and reportedly one of the finest kitchens in the world. And for security, the whole compound is guarded by a 1,500-meter wall as well as 30 Moroccan royal guards. But if he's not vacationing at his Moroccan palace, then you might find him in one of his other homes in the southern coast of Spain, in particular the resort town of Marbella. It's there where King Salman owns several homes, including the 48,000-hectare property in the middle of the stunning Golden Mile, the most exclusive part of town. He reportedly visits almost every year, and much like his trips to Morocco, he's never without an entourage of friends, relatives and staff. Here, the royal family can really let loose. We have private all-night parties, shopping and hanging out on Salman's private yachts, which apparently never even leaves the port. Now, clearly both King Salman and his son know how to make the most of their wealth. But when it comes to luxury lifestyle, there's another member of the royal family who gives them a run for their money, and that's the fun-loving Prince Al-Walid. He is King Salman's nephew and MBS's first cousin, and like them, spending seems to be in his blood. Maybe even a little bit more extreme. Let me explain. Prince Al-Walid has plenty of money to throw around. At one point he was actually named by Forbes as the 45th richest person in the world. In fact, his investments have been so successful that he's often called the Warren Buffett of the Middle East, and when his private jet touched down in the Turkish resort of Bodrum in 2017, it was a very big deal. While the official reason for the holiday was a family biking trip, it's probably not the kind of biking trip that you're imagining. This trip involved 300 pieces of luggage, and at all times all 30 of his bodyguards were cycling alongside him and his family. Yeah, more like the Tour de France than a quiet ride through the Turkish countryside. Either way, expenses added up quickly. Between renting out the entire hotel for about $48,000 a night and spending nearly $12,000 on a single fish dinner, it's no wonder that the trip ended up costing over $730,000. Now, Prince Al-Walid is clearly a bit of a foodie. In fact, one of the other restaurants he visited on that trip long before the restaurant, and they became famous on the internet, was none other than Nusret, owned by Salt Bay. At the time, Salt Bay was relatively unknown, especially outside his native Turkey. But Prince Al-Walid enjoyed his steak so much he reportedly left him a $6,000 tip. And later on that same year, Salt Bay would become a worldwide phenomenon after this video went viral. As for Al-Walid, well, when he wasn't biking or eating in the local Turkish hotspots, he spent much of his I'm aboard his super yacht, the 5KR. This super yacht was purchased from former President Donald Trump back in 1991 for $20 million. The boat is quite the spectacle. In fact, it's so eye-catching that it was featured in a James Bond film. That's how you know it's got to be nice. Perhaps a bit too nice. Maybe that might explain why Al-Walid's cousin MBS is reportedly extremely jealous of him. Well, jealous is actually an understatement. You see, Prince MBS actually ordered for Al-Walid, his cousin, to be arrested and imprisoned. I'll leave a link on description now for you to check out that crazy story.